there's 14 million reasons why this competition means something for this team for teams, and that's because the winning team gets 14 million euros. Does the Nations League trophy actually mean anything? And what can France and Spain take away from that final?
Well, I know we say it doesn't mean anything, but as a Spanish football fan, I was watching it all weekend long. You know what? The one thing about it was the semis and the final and the third place game, they were all like some of the best teams in Europe. Like, we didn't have any of these lower level teams, kind of sneaking their way through. Like, Italy versus Spain, that's the Euro semis happening again. France and Spain, Belgium and Italy, like, these are top class games. So, like, what I was telling people all weekend was like, listen, you might not like say that it's a trophy worth like bragging about, but if you're a football fan, you're going to sit down and watch these games because they were playing all their starting lineups because it was for a trophy. So I don't think necessarily the Nations League means too much, but I think the football that was being played was like definitely something to watch, right? Because, we have a World Cup in just over a year that like you want to see how these teams are playing. And that's the one thing I think Spain and France are going to take out of it. They have been able to play some top level teams now, because a lot of the groups, you're playing your Moldovas, your Luxembourgs, that's not necessarily testing you for a World Cup. But Spain playing Italy and beating them, getting their revenge for the Euros they should have won, and then losing to France in a not great way, but I still think it's like, all right, we have a lot of experience now. We know, like, I think it just preps teams for like bigger competitions.
Yeah, it's way better than the past form where it was just international friendlies, right? The Nations League now, it's a, I think in every competition, I guess, what makes it a competition great is its history. It's not necessarily just you're going to go out, drop a competition, and all of a sudden it's a great competition. I think there has to be storylines that go into it, and now we're getting into, this was the second cycle ever of the Nations League. And I think as this competition continues to progress, as Sarah, you mentioned, like, the best players are playing in this competition. So as I think this competition progresses, it will start to mean more eventually in further years. And another thing I'll add is that there's 14 million reasons why this competition means something for this team, for teams. And that's because the winning team gets 14 million euros, which, I mean, pennies probably to them on sort of the world stage and the global stage, but that's increasing every year. I think this year the total prize pool for the entire competition was over 100 million euros, and that's coming off a pandemic. So I think as again this competition progresses, it will mean more, it will grow more, and like I said, I think it's a step up from where it was when there was just international friendlies. So the more this goes on, I think the better it'll be for football in general.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think it will grow. And I think a lot of people were just sour because they were like, oh, England's not in it, Portugal's not in it. And I was like, hey, as a Spain fan, I was watching.
There you go.